Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today we're going to do the oral and written retell for Diary of a Spider, second grade journeys, lesson 4. So for this lesson, we're going to turn and talk, where I'm going to ask you questions about the story. You're going to think about your answers to the questions. And then if you have someone at home to talk to, you can pair up with a partner from home, or you can be my virtual partner. And then when you're ready, you're going to share your thinking or share your answer out loud in a complete sentence or sentences. So this story is either fantasy, and fantasy means things that cannot happen, or reality, and reality means things that can happen. So is Diary of a Spider fantasy, things that cannot happen, or reality, things that can happen? Well, Diary of a Spider is a fantasy story. Because when you notice in fantasy stories, some of our noticings are fantasy stories are a make-believe story. There are magical places. Magical things happen. Animals might act like humans. Animals might wear clothes. There might be monsters, aliens, or dinosaurs. Animals might be extinct in real life. And there can be events that can't happen, and the story might be funny. So one main reason why Diary of a Spider is a fantasy story is because the spider and fly act like humans. And it is funny. And the things in the story that happen couldn't happen in real life. Let's review our vocabulary words, because in some of our retell and some of our questions, we're going to talk about the vocabulary words. So first one, insects, small bugs with 6 legs and 3 body parts and may have wings, insects. Number 2, dangerous, unsafe, harmful, dangerous. Number 3, scare, to make someone afraid, scare. Number 4, sticky, thick glue-like things attached to something sticky easily. Sticky. Number 5, rotten. Dead and not good to eat. Rotten. Number 6, screaming. Yelling or crying loudly. Screaming. Number 7, breeze. A light and gentle wind. Breeze. Number 8, judge. To form an idea about, to decide what you think about someone, or something. Judge. So let's go over our learning target. I can retell the story, Diary of a Spider, with my partner using pictures, words, and sentences. Success criteria. How will you know you're successful at retelling the story, Diary of a Spider? Well, just like these people are climbing this mountain to get to the top, our goal is to reach our learning target. And here are our steps to success. Number 1, I will answer the talk about it questions. Number 2, I will say and match the characters and setting. 3, I will write, say, or match the lesson or moral of the story, what the characters learned. I will put the retelling pictures in the correct sequence or order, and I will write or match the sentences to each picture, saying what happened first, later, and last. Let's review our turn and talk rules. If you have a partner at home, number 1, eye to eye and knee to knee. You're facing your partner. And 2, first one person talks, the other person listens. 3, the next person talks, the other person listens. But don't talk too long on your turn, or your partner will not have time for a turn. When I ask a question, you're going to say whether you agree with me or your partner. So you can tell them or me, I agree with you because, and say why, or I disagree. I disagree with you and because, and say why. So here's our first major event in Diary of a Spider. You can find it on in our Journeys textbook, page 108. Look closely at the picture. Think about who is in it, what's going on, where are they? So number one, what is Grandpa doing in the picture and why? What is Grandpa doing in the picture and why? Grandpa is, and then say why. Because, so say it out loud. Grandpa is because. Well, Spider brought Grandpa to school because it was Grandparents' Day. So Grandpa is sharing the difference between a spider and an insect. So Grandpa is telling the other spiders that there's a difference between a spider and an insect, and that spiders are not insects. So Grandpa is telling them this because spiders are not insects. Spiders are arachnids. Spiders have 8 legs and they're arachnids, and insects have 6 legs. So fly is a spider, but fly is an insect. I'm sorry. Fly is an insect, not a spider. And a spider is an arachnid because it has 8 legs. 2, what do the students learn? And I already told you this. So the students learned, what did the students learn? The students learned the students learned the difference between a spider and an insect, and that, they are not insects because insects have 6 legs and 3 body parts, and spiders have 8 legs. And Grandpa was there because it was Grandparents' Day. 2, you can read about this major event on pages 120 to 121. Think, who is in the picture and where is this character? What's happening? Number 1, what is happening to Grandpa in the picture? What is happening to Grandpa in the picture? So think, Grandpa was, Grandpa was taking a trip to Paris, France. So he was catching a wind to Europe. And where does he go and how does he return home? So I already answered part of that question. So where does he go and how does he return home? So Grandpa went to, and he came back by, Grandpa went to, like I said, Paris, France. He went on a trip and he came back home by a plane. It said he slept up, he dozed off and slept on the way home above the passengers' heads or the people that were in the plane. So number 3, this is the next major event. Think about who is in the picture and what's happening. You can reread about it on pages 126 to 127 in our Journeys textbook. Number 1, what are some things Spider is afraid of and why? What are some things Spider is afraid of and why? So you can think about it. Something Spider is afraid of are, there's actually 3 things in the book. He's afraid because, so if you remember, some things Spider is afraid of are daddy long legs, vacuum cleaners, and people with big feet. He's afraid because, well, daddy long legs is much bigger than he is, and a vacuum cleaner could suck him up in the vacuum tube, and people with big feet could crush him. Compare the way Spider sees the world to the way you see it. So Spider is so, and I am so. What does that mean? Let's see. Spider is, so how are you different from Spider? Well, Spider is small, so he sees little things much as threats. So he's scared of things that we aren't scared of. And I am big, so I'm not afraid of a daddy long legs, and I'm not afraid of a vacuum cleaner or even people with big feet. I'm not going to get vacuumed up by a vacuum cleaner. Number 4, look at this picture. You can reread about it on page 128.
I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, sorry, that's my phone talking to me. What do most people feel about spiders, and what does Spider wish? So there's fly and spider playing together. So how do most people feel about spiders, and what does Spider wish? Well, most people feel frightened about spiders, and Spider wishes that people understood spiders better and not be afraid of them, because most spiders don't bite and hurt people. So, what facts did you learn from Spider's diary? How have your feelings about spiders changed after reading it? So, tell me 2 things you learned. I learned blank and blank. I learned, and then say my feelings have or haven't changed because. Well, I learned that spiders are not insects, and most of them don't hurt people. They don't bite or make people sick. And my feelings have changed because I used to look at spiders and go, ooh, but now I know most spiders are help people because they eat the insects that would hurt us. So we're going to retell Diary of a Spider. So we're going to fill in the blank. Retell of Diary of a Spider. The characters were, who were the main characters in the story? The characters were, well, the characters were Spider, Fly, and Grandpa. The setting was where did the story take place? The setting was the neighborhood. So let's put our pictures in order. Remember this picture first, later, next, and last. So tell me 1 thing or 2 things about each of these pictures. First, say it out loud. Well, first, on March 1st, Spider took his grandpa to school for Grandparents' Day. Grandpa taught the students that spiders are not insects because insects have 6 legs. Later, do you remember what happened in this picture? Later, on June 7th, Grandpa caught a breeze and took a trip to Paris, France. On June 30th, he came home by plane and took a long nap in first class. Next, remember the 3 things Spider is afraid of? Next, many things are dangerous to Spider. On July 17th, he wrote down 3 things that scare him. Number 1, daddy long legs. Number 2, vacuums. And 3, people with big feet. Last, remember what Spider's wish was? Last, on August 1st, Spider wished that people would not judge all spiders. In fact, most spiders don't bite. It is important to take time to get to know each other. So in the end, Spider and Fly learned that they can be different and still be what? Still be friends or still be different? So in the end, Spider and Fly learned that they can be different and still be friends. So let's reflect on our learning target. How did you retell the story Diary of a Spider? Would you give yourself a 4? I could teach this lesson. I easily answered the questions with my partner and completed the Retell graphic organizer. 3, I was able to answer most of the questions with my partner and completed the Retell graphic organizer. 2, I was able to answer some of the questions and completed some of the graphic organizer. Or 1, I was not able to answer any of the questions and did not complete the graphic organizer. So think, how well did you do? 4, 3, 2, or 1? So boys and girls, thank you for talking about the story with me and retelling it. Have a great day.